Good morning, everybody, or afternoon to some people. It's just 11:30 here. I apologize. I moved the live from 9 a.m. to 11:30 because we're also going to stream in Gabby's parents giving a press conference today. So I apologize for moving that. I also had to take my truck down and have a sensor looked at. So I've been up early. Let's see who is in here. Hello, Samantha. Hi, Katie Bird. Hi, Holly. Hello, Kat. Hello, Aggie. Hi, Nicole. Hello, I am 911. I'd love to know what that name means. Hello, Just Roll With It. By the way, I don't know if you guys see, but I always put in the description, it'll say artwork by. And Just Roll With It does our thumbnails. She does amazing work. She's great. Hello, Gary. Welcome back. Hello, Creepy Barbie. Feels like I just talked to you. Hello, Lip Lock No More. Hey, did you get my email? Hello, Kane. Welcome. Welcome. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Namaqua Daisy. Hello, Outlaw Trucker. Hello, Highway Trucker. Hello, Viv Hart. Hey, that one ginger with an asterisk. Hey, just me. If I missed somebody, I apologize. Hey, Bob, what's up, man? Kevin B. Kevin B was chatting before the show. All right. I think I got everybody. I hope. If I missed you, I apologize. Oh, hey, Language of Horses. Hello, Yessie. You changed your picture. Love it. Love it. So what are your thoughts, guys? Do you think that O'Brien is going to turn himself in? Because I don't believe there's any suicide here. And I kind of think that Mama and Daddy know where he's at. Think they had a little something to do with his disappearance. They didn't seem to be too concerned when Dog the Bounty Hunter showed up because, I mean, if they were truly worried about him, they'd be asking people to help find him. Yep, off the grid. You're right, Kat. He is off the grid. Some interesting things have come out overnight. Chris McDonough, Interview Room, actually linked a Twitter that he is using currently, I believe, to an address outside of Long Island. Makes sense. I mean, I sort of took a shot in the dark and said, I bet he's in New York because you can hide in plain sight. I hope he's caught today too, Kirsten, sorry. I hope he's caught today too. Dog the Bounty Hunter is talking about a park that he could be at. But the FBI said today they have no plans to go there and look. So let's bring up Kevin B and see what he thinks. Morning, Kevin. Oh, Dog the Bounty Hunter. What's up?
Hey, Brian. What's up, buddy? Coming for you.
Oh,
God. Yep. Coming for you, Brian. You can run, but you cannot hide, mister.
He's not going to turn himself in, is he? Now, you had a busy weekend, didn't you, Dog the Bounty Hunter? Oh, my God. What'd you think when you went to Brian's house and called the police on you?
That's pretty funny. The police have been called on me a million times, I imagine. You know, it's like, let's call the cops on a cop. I mean, he's a bounty hunter, but he's basically a damn cop, really. I mean, he's allowed to arrest people, so.
Chase them down?
Calling the cops on Dog that's pretty funny. You know, that's like my old joke. You know, if you give grasshoppers machine guns, birds won't eat them. That's about how much sense calling the cops on Dog makes.
So, Dog, do you think it's odd that 3 people checked into the park and 2 people checked out?
Yeah, that's, I mean, that's just almost too coincidental. It had to be, I don't know, it might be Brian's parents. I'll be right back with you. Hang tight.
All right, no problem. Alicia says, sounds to me like the FBI are not going to try to even find Brian. I want to know that too. Who knows who?
Sorry about that interruption. The Swans man was at my door. I gotta have Swans pizzas and.
Do you ever get those bagel hot dogs?
No, I haven't never tried them.
Oh, I love those.
I like Schwann's corn dogs. They're really good.
They're good. Well, Dog, while you're going through your Swans, I'm going to play a clip real quick.
Sorry, I just have to throw in the freezer before it spoils. I'll be right back.
That's all right.
Release a statement on their son's disappearance.
Our team of reporters are covering the stories that matter to you, and we begin with Marco Villarreal live in Northport with the very latest developments on the Gabby Petito case. Marco. Good morning. This could be a sign that the family is getting fed up with accusations and speculation that they had anything to do with the disappearance of their son or helping him escape in any way. And that is a statement from the family after a busy few days and protesters being out here in front of the home.
What are you telling us and tell them what they need to know?
These protesters outside the home used megaphones and signs to send messages into the Laundrie family home. They accused Brian's parents of knowing where he is and helping him escape. Now, this prompted that statement from the Laundrie family attorney. It reads, quote, Chris and Roberta Laundrie do not know where Brian is. The speculation by the public and some in the press that the parents assisted Brian in leaving the family home or in avoiding arrest on a warrant that was issued after Brian had already been missing for several days is just wrong. The family seems to be getting frustrated. At one point, Brian's mom called police, and officers can be heard talking about keeping the peace. Now, regarding the search for Brian at Carlton Reserve, the FBI is now the lead agency in the ground search, and we're told that's going to be a much scaled-down version, and they're going to be working a lot on any information and intelligence that they may be getting on his whereabouts. One other thing we should mention today, the family of Gabby Petito is expected to speak at a press conference. We'll have full coverage of that right here on News Channel 8. Reporting live in Northport, Marco Villarreal, 8 on your side.
Lies. That attorney is lying. There is no way you can believe that those parents have absolutely no idea where he's at.
Right. I'll bet, Gabby's parents are going to make, a statement. Man, I bet Gabby's dad loved to get a piece of Brian's dad's ass.
Could you imagine? These kids were going to get married. They were a part of each other's family. Exactly, Kirsten. If Dog finds him, the parents are burnt toast. And I agree, Crime Time. They do have an idea because they're the ones that just happened to stumble across his car. Really? So they've got that type of nose for detective work. They just happened to find his car. That was all a setup. And I was really hard on the police department because I kept saying, you had one job, and that was to keep an eye on him. Do we even know when she was reported missing if he was even there? Or did they hide him previous? because the weird camping trip took place 3 days before, I believe, the police report. Yeah, Brian did drive the van back home. You're right. Yep, exactly. So, I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, these parents they're not looking for him. They don't seem to be concerned. Their plans will backfire. They've already met with their attorney in Orlando, Stephen Bertolini. He flew down from New York, and they know they're not going to get in any legal trouble, but they can't do anything else, I'm guessing, in my opinion, to help him stay away. Can't do it. They've already gotten themselves in so deep. So deep. What big eyes? I put the link up if you want to come up and tell us what you came across. I agree, Angel. They know where he's been. Or they've got a good idea what direction he's headed. Hang on, I'm going to show you guys something. Most of you have already seen it, but it still cracks me up.
What are you looking for now?
We can't talk right now.
So can you tell us why you're here, sir?
Well, really,
Do you have any tips?
That's great. Hey, what big eyes?
Hey guys, sorry about that. Well, you know, ever since we've had that tornado that come through here, our internet is like, I have no idea what's going on. And every time I use Bluetooth or something, it messes up. So I'm just on my phone.
Oh, that happens. Could you believe there's Dog the Bounty Hunter? I guess you, right, Kevin?
Yep.
Knocking on that door. It was like he was going to break the front of the damn house down.
Yeah, he doesn't just knock and say, hello, is somebody in there? He's like, yo, get your ass outside now. 'Cause I'm getting a piece of you.
Oh.
You know?
I call it the cop knock.
Yeah, it's not a, little tap, tap, tap. It's
No.
like, bam. You know, and if you don't come out, I mean, they got paintball guns. They'll just light your ass up. They will. You know, they can't shoot bullets, but they can. Those paintballs hurt. If you've ever been hit with one of the bear skin, you'll know what I'm talking about.
So he was rapping on the door, walking around, dogs barking at him, got people outside, had his camera crew, and people were asking him questions. He wouldn't answer the questions, but Dirty Laundry family called the police on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Call the cops on a cop.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's what he is. He's pretty much a policeman. I mean, to a certain degree. Shit, I bet the cops are like, go ahead, tear the door off. You know?
Well, allegedly, I'm reading what Samantha posted there, that Brian called Dog 4 times.
I know. It's on the screen right now. Samantha said, Brian allegedly called Dog's tip line 4 times yesterday. Does anyone think that maybe Brian secretly is enjoying this attention? Because we see it in the Summer Wells case. Don's enjoying the attention. Does anyone think maybe he's enjoying this?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because if you think about it, I'm sure he's a big fat narcissist. You know, just like Don Wells.
Sure.
They, the world revolves around them. They want the attention. They want the control because they have to gaslight people. So they have to have control. And I bet Brian is a control freak. I don't even know him.
He is, and he's like a covert narcissist. They pretend they're all milquetoast and, I wouldn't hurt a fly, and they're working behind the scenes, where Don's really overt with his stuff.
You mean like huggy, kissy, kissies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. We have a comment here. K-Mint, we have no proof Brian is guilty. He has not been charged or even a suspect. Well, this is a true crime community, and we discuss cases. And he's running for a reason. So if you want to grab the link and come up, he's running for a reason, and his parents are hiding him for a reason.
You're right. He hasn't been charged with nothing yet, but sometimes you got to use a little common sense. I mean, the man is wanted for a murder, period.
Well, actually, he has been charged for bank fraud.
Yeah. So why do you
using that card?
Yeah, why do you take a dead woman's money? He knew she was dead.
Because he's a narcissist.
Mm-hmm. Not only did he kill her, he used her money to pay his way back to Florida.
And drove her van.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a piece of work, all right.
Did you all hear that the Moab police chief has been put on administrative leave?
Well, they said in one newspaper article I read that he had taken the Use of Family Medical Leave Act to take off, but they also said they thought it was because of pressure from all the way the Moab stop was handled. And so that might be his way of taking a leave, claiming, it's for family.
Yeah, in my opinion, that stop. Are you talking about the one where Gabby's in the police car crying?
Yeah.
Yeah, that should have been a huge red flag, in my opinion.
Me too. I don't believe that the police chief is responsible for how his office handled it.
No, I'm not blaming. Listen, in my opinion, and this is my opinion only, I'm not blaming the cops for Gabby's murder.
No.
Whatsoever.
Did they drop the ball there and didn't recognize it? Yes. Did they purposely ignore the fact and they didn't care if she was in danger? No, I don't believe they thought that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like CPS dropping the ball with Summer and the boys. Same thing, but different scenarios.
Absolutely. And also, I mean, I know it's not a popular opinion, and a lot of people, don't like when I say things like this. Even if they had arrested him for assault and battery, domestic violence, whatever the charge would have been, I think they would have gotten right back together.
Yep. I
was
agree
the
with
pattern.
that 100%.
Yeah, that was the pattern of their relationship. If you listen to what family members have said, and she just hadn't woke up yet. She kept going back because she couldn't see beyond where she was at.
No, and it's always going to get better, right?
Exactly. It's going to be better the next time, and I promise you they will never do that again, and they don't until the next time.
Oh, they don't. No, they're good for a few weeks, right?
Yep. They go back to the love bombing and all that stuff, and then you do something like, maybe you put your lipstick on crooked or something, and it's back on again.
So no, I think there should be better training in that department for sure, and I think there should be better training in these situations in every department. I really can't think of any way this would have saved Gabby if they had arrested him.
No.
No. Yeah, it wouldn't have. I think this would have continued on for maybe longer, but it was, it was such a volatile relationship, it just escalated into rage as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It did. And I think it sparked from what happened in Moab. I think there was a lot, again, just my opinion. I think there was a lot of, I'm going to tell, wait till your parents find out, wait till I tell my parents. Her parents were totally in the dark. They had no idea about this incident in Moab.
No, but I wonder if they had an idea of the volatile relationship.
I don't think her parents did. I believe his parents did. Only reason I'm saying that is because his sister said it was not uncommon for them to fight, be away from each other for a little bit, and then get right back together.
Well, yeah, Brian's parents are probably the type of parents, too, that didn't really confront him on it. They more or less just put it under the rug. You know what I mean? Because it's their son, But little do they know, by doing stuff like that, you're just enabling the person, This should have been addressed a long time ago, man.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it is the way this mentality works is, look what you made me do. Look, it's because of you that I hit you. If you hadn't looked at me a certain way or whatever, then you wouldn't have made me hit you. That's the way they present that to their victim. And she was apologizing. You can see that she thought everything was her fault. It's so sad. And people just need to wake up. Are y'all there?
I'm here.
Okay.
No, I'm here. I'm getting ready to put the stream up. They're getting ready to come on.
Oh,
if
good.
for some reason we lose the stream, guys, don't leave the room. It'll come right back on, I promise.
Please don't leave, please.
Dog says don't leave.
Yeah, dog also says, Brian, I'm coming, Bubba.
I'm coming, Bubba. God.
I can just see him saying that. Hey, Bubba. Get your ass in the car.
Household in particular, but we know last week when we went to the Laundry family leave the home, going to their meet with their attorney in Orlando, we did know that there was a unmarked vehicle that was kind of with them. That was not the case today. They kind of left and came back on their own.
Allison, can you speak to a lot of social media activity, people asking about the flowers that were delivered yesterday? There was a little micro sort of movement on the internet of people trying to deliver flowers to the laundry home there in Northport. And the idea was if we send enough flowers to the laundry home, before you know it, outside of that home, there will be sort of a makeshift memorial for Gabby Petito. Of course, we saw the video from News Nation's Brian Enton that they were talking about if the flowers aren't directed to City Hall where the memorial is, then what's going to happen is they're going to maybe throw those flowers in the trash. Any more deliveries or drop-offs pertaining to flowers or otherwise you can note here before we let you go?
Yeah, there have been actually this morning. I was in my vehicle, but my photographer here, Justin, he saw when UPS actually pulled up with a flower delivery. That did happen just within the last 2 hours or so. And also, we'll see, there's an Amazon delivery here. Oh, you're fine. There's an Amazon delivery here, but right behind this Amazon vehicle, it looks like there's just, I'm not sure if they'll open the door for this one, but right behind that Amazon vehicle, there is a small memorial, people who have been dropping off flowers here. Let's see if, we've also seen a food delivery here this morning. So a number of deliveries coming to this home.
8 on your side, it's Allison Henning. Folks, give her a follow on social media. She'll have the latest, of course, here from Northport, Florida. Allison, thanks a lot for your reporting as we get closer here, everybody, to the Gabby Petito family press conference. Hey, Allison, thanks a lot for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, JD.
As Amazon getting a little bit of free publicity here. Back here with you live, folks, and big shout out to Allison Henning for joining us here again. This is the video from the laundry home this morning. But really, let's show you exactly what everybody's waiting for here. They're live now in the center of your screen here. We have the this makeshift podium here. We're going to be hearing from Gabby Petito's family here momentarily. If you're just joining us here, folks, WFLA Now, this is JB Buno. Masa 88 on your side, investigator Justin Schecker here with us live. And you guys, I'll bring you guys up here. We'll keep this here in the center of your screen. So if there's any activity here at the podium, but Masa, we'll start with you here. An emotional day, I'm sure, for Gabby Petito's family, just 2 days after the funeral for Gabby Petito.
Yeah, that's right. The family had said that they were not going to make any statements after that horrific discovery on Sunday of her body being found and confirmed. And this is going to be the first time that we hear from the family after the funeral. And I imagine they're going to be trying to get this back out on the news. I mean, it's so covered in the news already, but trying to increase the manhunt, increase the attention. We had that really potentially significant lead come out about the possibility of Brian Laundrie being in Fort DeSoto Park, about 75 miles away from the Laundrie family home. And we know the huge role that the public has played in this case with the YouTubers, Justin, you know this, and helping to possibly locate where Gabby Petito was ultimately found in Wyoming. And now that this information is out there, we obviously still need to vet it. We need to hear from officials. This is just coming from Dog the Bounty Hunter, but he does seem to, have some sort of proof that the Laundrie family was at Fort DeSoto on 2 occasions in early September. Now that information is out there, people that were at Fort DeSoto Park, we might start hearing from them. So a lot of developments today, Justin.
We did see on Sunday at that emotional memorial service, JB and Moss, we did hear from both of Gabby's fathers, Joseph Petito and Jim Schmidt. I got 2 quotes written down from that beautiful celebration of her life. One was the quote from one of her favorite songs, guys, and that was when Jim Schmidt quoted "Let It Be," and he said, "And when the brokenhearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be." Of course, that is the song lyric that was tattooed on her arm. A second quote from her father, Joseph Petito, I'm going to read if I can read my chicken scratch heron here, but a very poignant quote. "If there's a trip you want to take it now. Do it while you've got the time. If there's a relationship that might not be the best for you, leave it now. So it's just two moments that stuck out to me from the memorial service, two powerful quotes, one quoting "Let It Be," and that second quote coming from her father, Joseph Petito. It was 2 weeks ago when this story was just taking off. I had the chance to speak with her father, and to think from there to now, as her father said, now the whole world knows her name. Everyone knows who this young woman is, knows the story, knows her dreams, her aspirations, and sadly this tragedy that has captivated the nation.
We were just given, I just want to, sorry to interrupt there, Justin, that was Richard B. Stafford, the Petito family and Schmidt family attorney there, and he just gave a 1-minute warning here. So Justin, allow me just to kind of explain how this is going to work here for our audience as we wait for Richard Stafford and members of Gabby Petito's family here to file in. We're going to listen in to the press conference here from New York, listen in as the entire country will be listening in here. And then immediately afterwards, you can stay right here on this live stream, whether or not you're watching on WFLA.com, our app, on Facebook, or on YouTube, wherever you're watching from. We are then going to continue the conversation here, what we've learned in this press conference. Again, a lot of questions and comments about the search efforts underway here in the Tampa Bay area. So don't go anywhere. As soon as the press conference here is done, we'll continue the conversation, let you know what the latest is as far as the cause that is so loud and vibrant online, the justice, #justice for Gabby cause here. So let's kind of listen in here for a moment. This is, again, a 1 o'clock press conference that is about to get underway here live from New York. And we're anticipating hearing from members of Gabby Petito's family here. Justin, Masa, I would imagine, we'll kind of keep this up here full screen here for you folks. But I would imagine this is going to be an emotional press conference here for Gabby Petito's family, Nicole Schmidt, Jim Schmidt, whoever's going to be speaking here.
Yeah, I got emotional just listening to Justin, talk about that song and talk about, how her family wants her life to be remembered, not just her death. It's going to be very interesting to hear what they have to say, Justin.
And we know her father, Joseph Petito, has announced on Twitter the formation of a Gabby Petito Foundation looking to help other families that sadly might end up in a similar situation as this. And we know just her case alone has just brought back so much attention to these other missing person cases across the country. But this one really has captivated the country, guys, and just eager to see what the family attorney and her parents have to say. And there comes Mr. Stafford.
All right, here comes the family. Yeah. Oh, wow. A lot of members of the family. There's Richard Stafford, the attorney here. There's Nicole Schmidt. There's Jim Schmidt, Joe Petito, other members of the family here. Let's listen in live, and then we'll continue to talk here with you live on WFLA Now after the press conference concludes.
Good afternoon. From the moment Nicole called to report that Gabby was missing, the worst fears of any parent played out before our eyes. That nightmare became a reality when the Grand Teton search and rescue team located their beautiful daughter. During that time, they had an outpouring of love and affection and sympathy from not just their family and friends, but from the law enforcement community, the press, and from people around the world. And for that, they thank you. They've been given the time and the space to grieve this awful loss. And we ask that you continue to respect their privacy and give them the space and time to go through this difficult process. Gabby Petito was a beautiful woman. Her infectious smile and love of life made people gravitate to her. Gabby Petito loved life, loved people, and loved experiences. She was the bright light in everyone's life that knew her. Gabby's family does not want that light to dim, and they want to make some good from this awful tragedy. That's why they're starting the Gabby Petito Foundation. I'm joined today with Joe and Tara Petito, with Jim and Nicole Schmidt, and close friend Gary Ryder. They're going to make some statements, and after that, we're going to take some questions. I
just wanted to say thank you to everybody that we encountered out west in Wyoming, all of the law enforcement agencies out there and across the country for doing an amazing job with locating Gabby. especially want to thank the Teton County Search and Rescue Team, who is a all-volunteer agency that come together. They are highly trained, and they were a part of that mission to find Gabby, and they did an unbelievable job. We were so grateful for everybody out there. They were second to none. They were unbelievable, and we are forever grateful for that. And everybody back home who helped us as well. It was amazing that we were able to get her. We're just happy to have her.
How you doing? I'd actually like to thank all you guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the media, press, especially the people that are behind the camera. All right, they don't get enough credit for what it is that they do. And so I do appreciate all them. Social media has been amazing. So I'd just like to thank everyone, for that. I do. It is greatly appreciated. That was very helpful in bringing our daughter home. So thank you very much.
I don't think we can thank everybody enough. I really want to thank the Aware Foundation and We Help the Missing for putting her poster out there. It reached over 2 million people within 48 hours. It's all over the world. Yeah. And I especially want to thank Detective Tracy Barry of the 5th Precinct here in Patchogue. Because without her, we don't know when this would have even happened. She got the ball rolling. She's my angel, and I thank her the most. Thank you.
At this time, we'll be taking questions.
Dr. Burns, NBC News. The hashtag Justice for Gabby has been trending. You mentioned how much social media has been helpful in locating her and in this investigation. What does Justice for Gabby look like from here?
Can I answer that? Yeah. Justice for Gabby is that we see justice for her homicide. The FBI has classified her death a homicide. They are the premier agency in the country. They're investigating her death, and we believe through their investigation, we will have justice for Gabby.
Rick.
Yes.
We haven't heard from the Laundrie family. We haven't been able to hear much from the FBI. They can't share a lot with us about Brian's whereabouts. Is there anything that you can tell us about the efforts to find him, what the family thinks about where he might be, and the Laundrie family silence?
Again, for the Laundrie's silence, the Laundries did not help us find Gabby. They're sure is not going to help us find Brian. For Brian, we're asking you to turn yourself in to the FBI or the nearest law enforcement agency.
Yesterday, the Laundrie family released a statement saying that Mr. and Mrs. Laundrie are not helping Brian get away and hide. Do you believe?
That's for the FBI to investigate. I believe that they're the preeminent law enforcement organization in this country, and I know they're investigating all avenues of this case.
Rick, Trevor Earl from ABC. Yes. You touched on trusting the FBI here. Does it bother the family at all that Brian Laundrie is still not named as a suspect in Gabby's disappearance?
The parents are 100% happy with the FBI. They've been with us at every single step of the way, and we know that they will bring justice for Gabby.
Foundation from CNN. Can you or the family talk at all about or describe what kind of contact you had with the Laundrie family since early September, and what your previous relationship was like with that family while Gabby and Brian Laundrie were these insight you can give us?
We're not going to talk about the relationship between the Petito, the Schmidt, and the Laundrie family. The Petito and Schmidt family have spoken with the FBI, and they requested that we don't discuss any relationship between Gabby, between
we're just hoping that through our tragedy with losing Gabby, that in the future that some good can come out of it, that we can help other people that may be in a similar situation, reach out to these other organizations that do similar things and find out what's missing. What can we do to fill that void? What can we do to help people? Just from the Aware Foundation alone and reaching 2 million people, they told us that other law enforcement agencies are now starting to look back at other missing persons cases and starting to reinvestigate them and look into them. And we're just hopeful that we're able to help people in the future, just try to get through something similar.
In the vein of not letting pro-light grow, Jim, I noticed Mom and Dad have some new tattoos that resemble that of Gabby. Would you be willing to tell us about that?
Yeah, these were tattoos that Gabby designed herself. She was an artist, and
I wanted to have her with me all the time.
so we'll.
I feel that this helps.
We'll put them. We'll.
Can you all show us? Everybody.
It's all right, we do. Let it be. Let it be.
Believe.
Yeah, sure.
And you said Gabby designed those.
Gabby drew this one.
Yeah.
Listen, here's the end all, right? We need positive stuff to come from the tragedy that happened. All right? We can't let her name be taken in vain. We need positive stuff. All right? So anything that we can do to bring that up and help people, that's what we want to do.
Joe, do you think Ryan's still alive?
I'm not going to talk about that.
Yes.
Just about the community coming together. I mean, we've been at the memorial almost every day, and you have people coming from all over Long Island, from Montauk to the West End, because they all say they felt such a connection to Gabby. Like somebody said, she reminds them of her son, and things like that. What does that mean to you that she just on emotions from so many people over the country? I mean, I'm sure, and your Blue Point community with the candles being lit. Can you just step up and possibly respond to that outpouring and what it meant to you?
I don't know how to respond to that. I just hope that people are inspired by her. It's hard to put into words, but it means a lot to me that she's touched so many lives already, and this is only 2 weeks into it, and I'm so proud of her for doing this, and we're gonna keep it going. Like you said, keep the light going and help a lot of people if we can.
And will the foundation just be for missing children or missing adults as well? I think it said children, but I didn't know.
We're still working out, this has only been a few days, so we're still working that out. We want to help in any way we can. I just want to add to the last question that we've received letters, emails, cards from all over the world, from Australia, from Europe. We had people from Italy. We had people at the funeral that came from as far away as Texas, as Florida, as California. So people from all over the country have called and sent their well wishes.
Can you confirm that the fraudulent activity that Brian's been charged with, was that Gabby's card that he was using?
That's something you're going to have to talk to the FBI about. That I know that they have unsealed an indictment, so I believe they would be the best agency to deal with that.
And just a question for Joe. Joe, you mentioned social media. Can you tell me, do you feel obviously that the outpouring of people all across the world with tips coming in that social media helped find Gabby? And how do you feel knowing that she was someone who wanted, she was in social media, the videos she made, everything else?
I don't want to dismiss the ridiculously hard work that the FBI and law enforcement all around did, but social media has been amazing and very influential. And to be honest, it should continue for other people too. This same type of heightened awareness should be continued for everyone. And that goes for you all too.
Joe, your words at the memorial service were very touching to many people. And I'm wondering if you've heard from people who heard your words about being inspired by Gabby's life and also leaving bad relationships.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Again, we've received messages from individuals on many issues since we started the foundation, and there are some that were really personal, and at this point we're not going to get into that.
Has the family spoken with Jen Bethune, the woman who took the video of the dam?
We've spoken with numerous people that gave tips to the FBI and to us.
So they have spoken with Jen Bethune?
I believe they have.
What do you make of people like Dr. Bounty Hunter and John Walsh getting involved in looking for Brian Laundrie?
Again, we, just like we ask for help to look from everyone, that if they see Brian Laundrie or any information on that, we're asking that they call the local law enforcement or the FBI. We welcome everybody's help to find him. And if you have any information, we're asking that you call the FBI tip line or your local police department. So we'll take help from everybody.
What's the plans for remains? Has FBI Denver contacted you about timing or when that might track?
Somebody talk about it. You want to talk about it? I didn't have a question. You want to do it?
Yeah, I'll talk about it. So, part of our goal was we wanted to bring her home as quickly as possible. But it's important for the FBI, the Teton County Sheriff's, the Teton County Coroner's Office to hold on to her for as long as they need. We want to make sure that no matter what, we do not impede their investigation in any way. We wanted her home immediately, but we understand their position, and we know that she's safe with them, and as long as she's with them. And it was a very tough decision to have to make to come home, but we felt it was important to come home so we could mourn her and celebrate her life and be with our family and friends. And when they're ready to release her, we will be bringing her home.
Have you gotten any of her things back from Florida?
Not yet.
Jim and Joe, you guys made a plea to the world, the country, the world, to help lead you to Gabby, find Gabby. Do you have a similar plea for the world to help find one?
I want to help. I want to ask everyone to help all the people that are missing and need help. And like I said before, it's on all of you, everyone that's in this room, to do that. And if you don't do that for other people that are missing, that's a shame. Because it's not just Gabby that deserves that. So look to yourselves on why not that's not being done.
And with Brian, that's our focus is still on mourning Gabby and honoring Gabby. The FBI is doing everything they can, and we have our full faith in them. So.
Can you say anything about what your understanding is of what was going on between September 1st and September 11th? Is this something you want to talk about?
No, we're not going to comment on that. That's part of the investigation at this point.
Can I have a shot of the four parents again with your tattoos just all together? Okay, sure. Maybe.
Sorry. That's all right. In front of the mics, there's a lot of wires.
I know.
You guys met Joe?
When did you have these done?
We all had them done last night.
Oh,
We all did it together. Like we said, we've always co-parented Gabby together, and that's not going to stop now. We're in this together.
And you three of them say let it be, and then mom's here says.
Mom has let it be as well.
No, I'm sorry, is that Gabby's handwriting? Is it this or is it just?
This is the way she had it written.
That's the way she had it on her arm.
So we all did it together. Oh, you're on rest? Yes.
The one on your arm. And do you always have that line on your finger, or is it?
Gabby had that line.
You got that recently, or?
I got that last night too.
Your arm a little bit late, is there? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is. Guy took mine off, sorry. You guys have been great, and I appreciate every one of you, and all the people, like I said, that are behind the cameras that don't get the credit. You guys were instrumental, but everyone deserves the same type of awareness and the same type of stuff. Thank you all. We're good? Good.
What's next?
Guys, I'm helping.
Just have one question over here. What's next?
We don't stop.
Yeah, we don't stop, remembering Gabby and keeping her name out there and fighting for other people out there like her. She's always with us every day. She's giving us signs. It's difficult. We've been talking. We don't, where do you go from here? How do you go back to normal? Whatever normal may be from here on out, but we have each other. We're a big family. We have a huge support network, and we're just going to keep pushing forward and living every day and loving every day, because that's what Gabby did, and that's what we need to do.
You know, a lot of people would be very angry right now. Can you talk about, or do you at some level have anger, or is it just not happening now?
We go through our bouts. It's an emotional roller coaster. There's ups and downs. Days that we're full of pain and grief. Sometimes angry, but you stop, you take a breath. Remember Gabby and all the great times we had with her, all the good memories, and all the good things we want to do in her name in the future. And that's what picks you up. That's what carries you through. And hopefully will keep us going from here on out.
And Jim, what kind of signs has she been giving you? Can you step up a little bit? Thanks.
We actually got behind a car yesterday, and there was a Wyoming sticker, and the letters were GBZ.
Gabbs.
Gabbs. She's with us. She's with us.
She's with us.
All right.
She's with
I
us.
think we're good.
The signs are there. You just have to look for them.
Thank you all.
so much.
Appreciate everyone.
Thank you.
We don't stop remembering Gabby. That's the message, the focus for Gabby Petito's family, showing tremendous strength here at a press conference in New York. They've created the Gabby Petito Foundation while mourning their daughter here in New York, and collectively now calling for justice for Gabby as the FBI continues their homicide investigation. Let's bring in our entire team here, folks. 8 on your sides, Masa Saidi, WFLA.
All right, we'll get back to that in a minute. Wow, that made me cry. What we just witnessed there was nothing but integrity and a good family.
Yeah, I can't imagine what that family's going through.
Integrity. Why haven't they sent her stuff to them from Florida? Hell, they just got an Amazon package.
I'm just, speechless at this family. They are so wonderful. And then we have the polar opposite.
Oh, yeah, we definitely have polar opposites. And what they are saying, especially listening to her father and the stepfather, is they don't really want to talk about Brian. Well, Brian's going to be discussed. But what they're saying is they're going to trust in the FBI. They're going to trust in the authorities to find him. That they're going to let them do their job. But I loved when her father said, that's on you guys. This attention needs to be on every missing person. Did you all grab that?
Yes.
That gave me chills.
That was wonderful.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wonder if Gabby, I was just sitting here thinking, I wonder, well, for 2 reasons I'm saying this. First one is, I wonder if Gabby's parents know the cause of death.
Oh, I'm sure they
Yeah.
do. But see, they are very tight-lipped. They even said they don't have her body back yet. I mean, it could take weeks. It could take months. But they're not the type of family to come out and say, this is what happened to her. I mean, they're all about love, integrity, respect. To have parents and step-parents together saying we all got tattoos together. They're keeping the other children out of it. To call out the media and say, that's on you. Everyone, every missing person should have this.
Yep.
Yeah, and didn't they in the beginning say, because my end was echoing so bad I couldn't even, but I'll figure that out later. But didn't they say that social media was great?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so look at Summer. I don't mean to take the attention off Gabby right now. I'm just making a point.
You're perfectly fine, yeah.
Why? Something ain't right. With this.
Well, you know, the
Summer
thing
came.
is, for some reason, the national news picked this up, and I credit it to the fact that Joe Petito grabbed onto any person in the
Right.
spotlight nationwide with mainstream media reach to put
Right.
this out about Gabby. We have the parents back there in Rogersville not doing that. And so all we're left to is what we can do here in social media. But, you know, I think this foundation is going to be wonderful. I think they're going to put the spotlight on all missing children and
I
all
hope
missing
so.
women. Yeah.
It seems to me that the father and the stepfather are going to almost take on like a John Walsh or a Mark Kless role.
Yes.
That they've taken this so personally that they're going to, especially with the foundation,
Yes.
they're going to help with other missing cases.
I'm going to go
Yes.
back to what I just said about the cause of death, because I was thinking if her parents don't know yet the exact cause of death, when it does come out, I just can't imagine waiting for that kind of news of how she died. You know, in my opinion, it's going to show rage. But
Oh yeah, because I think this all started festering and came to a head at Moab.
Yep.
You know, I keep going back to that one image of this that he had on his, I think it was his Twitter, that person that was like, it's just red, you know, just such violence. And I keep going back to that. And so I think you're right. There has to be rage involved, Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, it was, I could just, you know, I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but I could just picture a scene where they were both really arguing, and maybe she was up in his grill, like, you know what I mean? And he just snapped, you know? I'll bet you it was that type of a rage, like a, God, how do I want to say it? Just, you know, she was calling him out and he didn't like what she was. I mean, it escalated into murder.
It could be that. And then also think about this. Could it be that he started putting this in his mind?
Right.
After
you mean like premeditated?
In Moab. Yeah. I mean, the books he was reading. The books he was reading, the fact that he flew from Salt Lake City to Florida I still don't know what that was about. To move
I'm going to tell you something right now. In my opinion, the cause of death is going to show either rage or, I mean, there wasn't a cliff or nothing there that he pushed her off of, or did he, and then move her body? I don't know. But
I don't think he put that much thought into it. No, he left her in that field. He left her there.
It happened there.
So you say it happened there, right there?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh.
And it was widespread scene there, so it had to be violent rage to keep going, because they picked up stones from that creek bed and took them.
Stones.
Stones. You know,
I can imagine why they took those.
Yeah. And then it proceeded over unto in like a linear fashion up under the tree cover there, where they found her body was more shaded and out of the sunlight. But it started at the creek bed, and so there was something really wild going on there.
Be right back.
Okay, let's see what they're saying on here. Hang on.
WFLA News Channel 8, and he says, in my attempt to independently confirm the Laundries, we're at the Fort DeSoto campground, what you're looking at here in the center of your screen, in Pinellas County from September 6th to the 8th. We can confirm Brian Laundrie's mother checked in to the Fort DeSoto campground. So this isn't now, this is another pin, another thumbtack on the board here as far as adding more now to the timeline, and that the dates are very important here. So Brian Laundrie's mother, Roberta Laundrie, checking in, and we don't know if she was, we can't, say if whether or not she was alone. We do have the mother, just the actual evidence that she checked in on September 6th through the 8th at Fort DeSoto campground in Pinellas County. Very curious to see if this is now we don't know if this is information that the FBI has had for some time, Masa and Justin. We don't know
They
if
keep
this is
things
something
to
that
the
they
vest. I mean, we know what to do with the FBI here. I mean, they're going to keep lots of their vest. I just want to jump in one point. When Masa was talking about the timeline, the reason they time-stamped when Brian Laundrie returned to Northport is that the license plate reader picked up the white camper van registered to Gabby Petito around 10:30 in the morning on September 1st. If you saw the aerials from our friend Paul Lamison, there is a similar checkpoint license plate scanner that you think any investigative agency will be able to go back, guys, and be able to see if indeed that red truck belonging to the Laundrie parents did go through that checkpoint to get there. So that would seem to be one way to confirm whether or not this family was indeed there. But now we are seeing, there's potential reports they might have been there. So I imagine those license plate readers, guys, is one key piece to help track the vehicles to see indeed if the Laundrie family vehicle was at the park on these dates that Dog the Bounty Hunter is reporting.
And also there would be a reservation slip, some sort of record. It costs about $34 a night to rent out one of these campsites. So if they stayed there and used their actual real names, then there would be a record of it. Now, Dog the Bounty Hunter has had multiple interviews with different outlets, and he's kind of jumped around a little bit on this about whether there's any surveillance video. I believe at the entrance of the park, there might be some
There's
video.
likely a camera there with the license plate.
Right.
Yeah, and that we did see there is Paul said that there is a toll booth there. That's very, very important. I have to just file a correction here for our audience here. I was reading that from Josh. I thought that was written by Josh. That is another media outlet there confirming. So I just want to make that very, very clear that WFLA News Channel 8 hasn't independently confirmed that the Laundries were at the Fort DeSoto campground in Pinellas from 6th to the 8th. That is another media outlet here. But this is just another now piece of all of this now coming together. And I'm sure that our WFLA team here is working the phones here to confirm this information here as well. But that, again, that is not confirmed by WFLA News Channel 8. So I misspoke there based on the email that had just come in from Josh. So my apologies there to our audience here. My apologies to the audience here. I want to be very, very transparent here with how we go about the news. I didn't see it as a quote. I thought it was written by Josh himself on a keyboard, and it was not.
So, but what's very interesting, and this was one of the questions that came up, was kind of what happened. And the family didn't really want to talk about this between the 1st and the 11th. We know from having pieced together their journey out west, we've talked about what happened in Moab, Utah. I believe it was on August 12th. We know August 19th, Gabby and Brian posted that long video on the YouTube page, appearing to be happy everything was okay. We know the 27th, we heard the report. There's a young woman on Instagram talking about the fight she observed at the restaurant in, I believe, in Wyoming. And then, of course, that key piece of evidence, the video placed in the van there. And we know the FBI
very
is still
close to where her body was discovered.
And the FBI is still focusing on the 27th to the 30th.
Asking for people.
And then from the
to come forward. That was out in Wyoming.
And then from the arrest warrant,
Teton National Park.
Yes, and from the arrest warrant, they know it's activities, the credit card bank fraud from after her homicide. And so now the question is, what happened with Brian Laundrie and his parents from September 1st to September 11th when Northport PD showed up that night and they just handed them the attorney's card from Mr. Bertolino. This is our attorney. Where was Brian in those 11 days? Where is he now? And that has to be the focus of trying to figure this out. And imagine the FBI, if Dog Bounty Hunters contacted them, will try to verify these reports that the family went to this campground, you're looking right on your screen there, during that 1st to the 11th.
Guys, if I could hop in here, I just want to get to some of the, Mossy, you have a quick note. I want to get to some of the comments here.
At 11 last night, Dog the Bounty Hunter was telling reporters he had not contacted the FBI, which is why I imagine the Petito family attorney said, we'll take anyone's help, but contact the FBI. JB?
I want to take this one really quickly because this is new information here, and I can answer this question based on information that has been available in our newsrooms of late. Or newsroom recently. Kelly and Chris Weaver, hashtag Hey JB, hashtag Hey Masa, hashtag Hey Justin. Is the FBI out still searching the reserve? Paul Lamison this afternoon, about an hour ago, made did a pretty thorough flight over the Carlton Reserve. It's a very vast area, 25,000 acres, but Paul was just there and he couldn't find any search efforts. Now, as a reminder, yesterday, Monday, the 27th here, that was when the FBI and Northport Police were scaling back at Carlton Reserve, saying that the search was now being targeted based on intelligence. But when Eagle flew over yesterday, it was a considerably smaller search effort at the vast wilderness that is the Carlton Reserve near Myakkahatchee. Today, a return flight doing our due diligence, going back over there, Paul Lamison and Eagle 8 HD, and couldn't find anything. And not to say that they're not there, but Paul did a very thorough, flight over the area and could not find an active search there on the ground. Again, could still be on the ground there searching, but it seems as if they are considerably scaling back here from the search efforts that we were talking about last week. Some more comments here. I want to get through some of these because there's some extremely kind comments here. Bonnie Medina, #AJB, to Gabby's family. May your happy memories bring light to your darkness. Jill Englot here, #AJB. Absolutely love this family. In the middle of what I can only imagine as complete devastation, they made sure to say more than once that everyone missing deserves attention. I echo this so much because Gabby Petito's father, Joe Petito, speaking out there several times, pointing to the media. It falls on all of us here to step up our game when it comes to missing person cases in this country. It falls on all of the online sleuthers out there, and all the YouTubers, TikTokers, everybody on Twitter and Instagram, all these folks. We've pooled so much in resources and so much attention into the Gabby Petito story. There are other missing person cases out there that deserve attention too. Yeah.
And in general, the reason that many news agencies, as having been a journalist along with everyone here for more than a decade, the reason that news agencies don't immediately cover every missing persons case is quite often the person will be found. And, as an adult, you have a right to go out. So ordinarily, news organizations don't start covering a missing persons case until the police get involved, until there's very suspicious circumstances. And anytime that the family is heavily involved and the entire community is looking for a missing person, that also ups the amount of coverage that you have. But absolutely, this case has gotten coverage that I can't remember another missing person case in recent memory getting this much coverage.
I think that this is going to change the conversation. I think it's a big game changer as far as missing persons in this country, and with all the technological means here. And we know when you get an Amber Alert, right? Your phone buzzes. Everyone's phone within the coverage area for that Amber Alert just starts going off the hook, and that very loud sound that you get on your phone for an Amber Alert. But I think there's going to be more conversations now, and perhaps spurred by the Gabby Petito Foundation that's been created. More conversations. It's about how can we be better, and how can we prevent future tragedies connected to missing person cases in this country. Laura Lee Bunnell Glenn, #AJB. What a beautiful unit.
Okay, on that note, what do you think, Big Eyes? I think they should cover them. I think especially when a child is missing, they should cover it. Not just John Benet Ramsey. They should cover it. They should talk about it. Her mic's muted.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
I was just.
I mean, they're right, but I mean that's on them. That's on them. And what JB is saying is right. What he's saying is right. I mean, we have people missing right now. We have Facebook groups about it. We have Summer Wells. We have Mark Fullerton. That man disappeared in Missouri. Not a bleep. Mind you, the news feed would be nothing but missing people, but why not do it? Why not make people more aware of their surroundings?
Right. And we have Xavier Harrelson, that little boy that disappeared.
Mm-hmm. Michael Vaughn.
Yes, little Monkey Vaughn. Yep. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, there needs to be more coverage by the news media, not just social media.
Yeah, because, social media is wild for it. Hang on, Kevin needs the link. I don't know what the hell Kevin's got going on today.
But it's really strange. I don't know what causes this phenomenon. I've noticed that for some reason, certain cases get more attention. And, I share the ones that are lesser too, and they don't get the same amount of attention. And it makes you wonder how the algorithms calculate this stuff.
Good point.
Certain cases are covered more because they're covered more. You know what I'm saying? And so we have these other ones that really need attention, and some of them are just very intriguing stories. And I think if they were delved into, they could really find some answers and maybe find the children. But it's not picked up. And because it's not picked up, there's no interest. So it's like a cycle, unless you get in that rhythm, your child's case is not going to be coming to the top. It's unreal the way it happens. I don't know if there's something that YouTube could do about it that would help.
Exactly. I've been trying to talk about Brantley Welford, and his killer is out on bond. That should not happen.
No.
And we'll get to that another day. But I think about Breasia Terrell. There should have been a lot more pressure put on Davenport Police. Mark Fullerton. There's no reason that tiny little sheriff's department should be handling his missing case. I think about Michaela Jones.
Yeah.
She did not overdose. She was murdered. And there is no reason for that DA to keep putting her mother off the way he does. Outlaw Trucker's coming up. Hey, Outlaw Trucker, what you thinking?
What's up, Brooks?
Not much, my friend. What's going on?
There's a lot of things that it's all unbelievable how many kids are coming up that missing this year compared to the last 5 years. And it's just overwhelming.
Well, something I noticed is because of COVID, it seems like there's more, because there's more children in the past year been out of school, and maybe school was their safe haven,
right.
And they looked forward to that, and they got away from the situation, and maybe the interactions didn't get so evolved and built up to where these things happen. And I think that has a lot to do with it too.
I think you're exactly right. Because if you look at the case, the group We Have Stolen Innocence, that little girl she was being abused. I don't want to say what was going on because it's too much to even think about. And she even mentioned it was during COVID time because all eyes were off of her.
Right.
Addiction is back up on the rise. People that were in recovery for years are back on whatever they were doing before. Domestic violence, there's a huge rise in it. And now I'm not saying that has anything to do with Gabby and Brian. But I just think it's very interesting what Gabby's father said. That's on you guys.
Yes.
Every missing person should have this attention.
Exactly.
Actually, Gabby's dad is correct. It is all on us. It's all about how we raise and teach our kids. And not only that, I've been saying a lot of things that what kids do learn on the internet off the negative stuff are becoming a wanted criminal in life as they grow. And I see the connections, but how are they doing this? That's what I want to know.
Well, yeah, I see what you're saying. I think it comes down to, just for example, you look at Breasia Terrell and you look at Summer Wells, they're from a part of society that we don't really talk about. They don't get attention unless it's negative attention. So if you're looking at a very nice family, it seems to garner the public's interest more.
maybe it's because it's more in line of what's presented as the ideal family situation that, somehow gets all messed up. And so people pay attention to that, where maybe they have lower expectations of the other segments.
Thank you. You nailed it. Because when it's a family that we already look down on, we're like, well, that was bound to happen. But if you have a family like, just for example, like Chris Watts.
Yeah.
You see the house, you see the perfect family. You see the daily posting on Facebook. So they're like, oh, well, that's a shocker.
Right.
And they really dig in. And the people that dig in are, more, I'm trying to find the right word. Help me here because I don't want to insult anyone.
I know what you're thinking.
They're more responsible people. They're more responsible people.
Yeah, and it's sort of the ideal family that you would picture in America. Back in the day, we had TV shows like Leave It to Beaver and those kind of family situations. And of course, not everyone is the Cleavers, okay? But that's what people are looking at, what they consider in this day and time, the average American family. And these other people, like, for instance, in Chicago, there are people that are murdered in the streets every day, and you don't even hear a word about it. They're killing each other. They're killing the children. People are not safe in their apartments and all this stuff. But because they are in the lower rung of society, they're not getting any attention, and they're sure not getting any help.
Well, my mic was muted.
Oh, were you like me, just talking away and nothing was coming out?
Yeah, I had some genius stuff to say, guys, too, and I was muted.
Oops.
Yeah, you wouldn't even believe all the genius stuff I just spouted out, and I was muted. But no, you're exactly right, what big guys. I mean, and that's the truth. So, I mean, I agree with, Gabby's dad. That's on the media. They need to cover these cases. And JB saying, yeah, we have a responsibility. Well, then do it.
Right.
We're not journalists. We're not detectives. We're not lawyers. We're not psychiatrists. I mean, all the things that we're not law enforcement. We're just doing what we can do.
Right. And basically, we come upon the situation after it's happened. And what is the media doing about educating society about maybe preventing this stuff, so we don't have so many cases to worry about? It's prevention somewhere has to come into the picture.
And I love that. Where would prevention start? Let's go to the subject with Brian and Gabby. Where would the prevention have been when no one truly knew what was going on in their relationship?
Well, maybe it would start in school. Maybe it would start in classes on interpersonal relationships and acceptable behaviors.
I love that, acceptable behaviors, because everyone knows how to act right. It's whether you choose to do it or not.
Right. But if someone is aware what is acceptable and what is not, then maybe that would help, because a lot of people, they don't understand people who have no boundaries. They don't understand that, and because they feel intimidated by a person, they allow it to go on, and then it goes from there.
And I believe that she has the proper self-esteem, considering how wonderful her family is. I think she was truly intimidated by him. I think she was truly controlled by him. And when he's taking her ID, he's got the money. I mean, he had her credit card.
Yeah, that tells you right there. You know, she was the one that was in charge, really, because it was her vehicle, her money, and he has all his life been mama and daddy boy. You know, they took care of everything. And he was starting to see that maybe she would be successful and maybe she would decide she didn't have to put up with him.
Exactly. And that's the biggest threat to a man like that. Biggest threat. I don't need your ass.
And so that was, you know, he was about controlling her. And I think he would do anything to control her, especially, you know, they say in domestic violence cases, the most dangerous time is when they know you're going to leave.
You are exactly right, because that's when they start feeling threatened, that's when it goes down. Hang on, we have S. Hagen backstage. Hey, what's going on?
Hello.
I'm sitting here listening quietly, and my thing is, well, my problem is, if we are to 2 years, shouldn't his folks have put a stop to it? Because here's the thing, 2 years in their home, wouldn't they have seen them arguing or fussing or fighting or...
Oh, you're exactly right. Let me address a comment. Manta, no one is saying the schools are responsible to raise your kids. You're exactly right. But every little bit helps. And sometimes kids are not getting a proper home life. And so if there is some positive reinforcement in school, it can help. So hopefully that helps you. No one is saying that the schools need to do all this. Absolutely not.
Oh,
all right,
no.
No one is saying that. No.
No, that's not what I meant at all.
No, God, no. God, no. I mean, that's the obvious, right? As parents, you know,
right.
You tell your daughters, you tell them, you tell your sons.
Right.
And Aaron, I see what you're saying. You don't think he did it. Well, he's running for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
What is he running from?
All right, can I jump in on that one real quick?
Yeah.
All right, guys. A lot of things when they happen in Moab, and how the dispatchers, how the dispatch calls came in saying that.
Here's what I don't get on that part. If he didn't...
Go ahead, Outlaw Trucker.
All right. After Brian hit her, she was doing is doing the self-defense. She did state that she was holding his arm back from keeping getting hit. And that right there was red flags. Okay. And they should have took him downtown and locked him up for at least 8 hours to really do a full background check. And they ignored to do that of the warnings they were given. But no, when the officers went to Brian, he turned around and flipped the script and blamed it all on Gabby. And that's how they presented it. So they definitely could have stopped it in a way. But when they went up to Trenton, Wyoming for the vacation and all that, okay, here's the thing that I've been seeing a lot of red flags. How did it go down? Not only that, how did she get injured? And how come Brian didn't go reach out to the park rangers and call 911 to get her help?
Because he killed her.
That is true. But how come he just up? I know, but he up and went back to Florida with their credit cards and all that. So that technically right there, he did murder her in a way.
Yeah, I'm sick of hearing the dictionary game. People saying, well, now homicide can mean this, or that. It's going to come out what he did, and it's not going to be good. Go ahead, S. Hagen. Oh, she muted herself. All right.
She'll be back.
Yeah. Oh, she's back. No, I mean, he's not going to call anyone. He wants no attention on the situation. And the way he manipulated the situation in Moab, what, big guys, I want your thoughts on this. It is so typical.
Right.
She's crazy. She's worse than me. We don't take any medication.
Yeah, that was the thing, you know.
Well,
He
what I'm
was
saying
like,
on that subject is how, okay, if he didn't do something to her,
Do what? Oh, I think she's cutting out.
yeah.
So now what were you saying? What, big guys? She cut out. She'll
Well,
be back on.
yeah, the thing is, that's what they do. You know, they make the other person that they've gaslighted look like that's the one that's the violent one.
They're the crazy one.
They're the crazy one. And he did say that. She's crazy.
Mhm.
And the guys were agreeing with him.
One even said, well, I've got a crazy ex-wife too.
Yeah.
Well, what about the 911 call when someone saw you outside in public after you raised hell inside that store and you brought it to the sidewalk in public? What gives you the right, Brian, to start hitting that girl out in the middle of everyone?
Right. That's when his mask slipped down.
And that's when he got scared. And that's when the plan started.
Yeah, and maybe after that, she might have said too much, you know, about what she thought should happen next. And then it really got bad.
Let's look at the other cases. I mean, you know, when these abusers feel like they're at the end of their rope. Now, I mean, Scott Peterson, you know, Lacey was having a baby and he felt trapped and he had a new girlfriend.
Right.
Chris Watts, you know, he had a new relationship. We don't know what went on inside those houses. Nicole Simpson ran from OJ all the time. Suzanne Morphew had every intentions in the world of getting away from Barry. She had a boyfriend and everything. She was done with it. So when you lay the hammer down, that's when stuff gets bad. And just think about the conversation or the argument when she said, I'm going to tell my family. I'm going to tell my dad.
Right. And I'm sure that's probably close to what happened. Because, you know,
That's the reason why he took the phones away from her from communicating with her parents over in New York.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
But then on the other hand, there's, you know, you have the women in these situations going, no one's going to believe me. They already told me to get away from him. I'm going to look like a fool. I'll take care of it on my own.
Yeah. And then too, some people it's like, well, we're going to make this work. It's just hard. We just have to come to an agreement. And they keep on and on. And it doesn't get any better. It gets worse.
And you're right, Holly. Women can definitely be abusive too. They absolutely can. There are some nasty, nasty ass women out there.
I agree on that part.
Definitely. You know, there are different roles here. And it's not limited to men being abusers, because there are women out there that do that.
Mm-hmm. And they'll beat a man down. They will beat him down. I mean, I have a friend of mine. Former friend. I haven't talked to her in 20 years. And when her husband was talking about the stuff she was doing, I was like, wow. I mean, it was kind of upfront, like we could see what she was doing. But it was just kind of like, you know, time to pull the trigger. I know you love the kids and everything, but, you know, you have your own sanity.
Yeah.
And she wound up using the kids against him.
Well, it's better for a child to be from a broken home than to live in one.
And that's a very true statement. That's a
I
very
see a lot of that out there.
well, exactly. Because I mean, you're a truck driver. You know how many women, lay around the house and don't do anything, and they got boyfriends throughout the week, and their husband comes home on the weekend, and they're like, "Where's your check?"
Right.
Yeah, abuse knows no bounds or gender. And I really hope a lot of things, with the coverage of Gabby, there's a lot more conversation, a lot more discussion, and the light bulb goes off somewhere, and this stops in its tracks.
Yeah, and here's another thought. The Vallow Daybell case that's, about to happen before our eyes.
Oh, those weirdos.
She was an abuser.
Oh, yeah. Look how she treated Charles. Hell, she was spending his money after she had him killed by her brother.
Right. And then I think she did her brother in.
I do too.
I think her first husband, Ryan, I think she had something to do with his strange death. And I'll tell you what, if she had hung around Chad longer, he might have become her next victim. That woman is a psychopath.
And that's the reason that she is still in a state hospital in Idaho. They can't get her ready for trial.
Well, they're going to keep trying.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to give her because she is nuts. I mean, she is nuts. Exactly, Daisy. If he was abusive in public, he was abusive in private. You're exactly right.
Yeah, most cases. Go ahead, Trucker.
This all goes back to Brian's parents. They seen how Brian was growing up. They could have stopped it, but they didn't. They let it go and let it go and let it feed and let it build until he got out there on his own. Then one day something triggered into him and he just up and snapped. And what triggered it is a key question. And when
Mama's
the parents,
boy. Mama's
and
boy.
And the parents should have known that and should have stopped it.
Well, here's the thing. I've done a lot of studying into this relationship stuff. And it could be that stuff like that has been going on in the Laundrie family for generations. It's called generational trauma.
Uh-huh.
So we don't know. These parents, you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. We can hear you. Oh, she'll be back. No, she's exactly right. I mean, it's as a child, you are what you see. And when you have a mother that excuses all of your bad behavior, even if they're not even excusing it, they just make it better, turn a blind eye. It's okay. We're going to take care of it. And I don't think Brian ever had any accountability.
No, he was never held accountable.
No. If anyone has time, I mean, if you look up the case of Francine Hughes and you see what went on there. Now, this was back in the 70s. So that tells you how far we have not come. Police, her mother, his family, everyone knew about the abuse. To the point where I'm not going to say what she did. If you just Google Francine Hughes, you'll look at it. And she was acquitted. I think it was based on temporary insanity or something like that. But this woman was abused for years and years and years and years. Her mother telling her, you made your bed, lay in it. His parents saying he's going to do better. He's not drinking anymore. So in these situations also, when someone's being abused, they'll get a slap in the face when they do reach out. Now their friends are always, oh yeah, leave. Oh yeah, you can do this. Well, you know, your friends aren't going to be there. Hell, half the time they won't even help you move a mattress. But when the families turn a blind eye, therein lies a huge problem.
Yes, indeed.
Can I set an example?
Yes, please.
All right. I was, this will cover in part of the stuff that we covered. I was in a abusive family with my mom, dad, grandparents, sometimes my aunt and uncles. You get the verbal and you get the physical. And there's times when you get up to around 13 to 15, the kid's going to say, have enough, that they're going to snap and do something and try to walk away from it. But I learned overall that what I grew up with, I just shut it down and learned my own way, just to try to find peace and harmony and to try to learn how to grow up in life. But with all the bullying that parents do push on and trying to control the kids and all that, it does hurt a kid growing up, because there's nothing there that can actually teach them right to how to turn that around to give them a better, stable, to strive better in life.
Yep.
Well, and you can see right here, like Deanna said, maybe his dad is this way. Maybe that is the role in their home. It's not far out of the realm of possibility that his dad is that way.
Yep. It could be. We just don't know because, you know, there's nothing. See, and that goes on. And there's been generations of never a one police report happening of anything happening in that family. And then, you know, 2 or 3 generations down, you have something like this happen and you go, well, what on earth? Why did this happen? Well, this has been going on and it's just been perpetuated from generation to generation.
Yep. I'll put the link up real quick. Hey, Everyday Shenanigans, do you want to grab the link? Because I would love to hear your take on this. Grab the link, Everyday Shenanigans.
Is she coming?
Oh, if she sees it, maybe. But no, I think it's a learned behavior, and I think the enabling has gone on for years and years. I mean, he's baby boy. He's the prince of the family.
Yep.
And the question is, where's Waldo? Where's he at?
Yeah, I posted something the other day, and I said, "Where is Bizarro?" Because he is really
exactly.
bizarre.
Hello, Everyday Shenanigans.
Hello, everybody. Hi, baby. How you doing?
Pretty good, honey buns. How are you? What do you make of all this?
Honey, I'm barely woke. Oh God, because I stayed up late. I did a live late. So, hello, Mr. Trucker. What you doing up here?
Hey, good afternoon, Queen.
I thought you always stay woke. You say you stay woke.
Honey, no, baby. Honey, I'm barely here. But anyway, hello, everybody. Hello, panel. Thank you so much for inviting me. To tell you the truth, from this morning, I was like kind of sleepy, but I wanted to get in because I'm on call. I thought I'd be on call today. So I said, well, let me go on and do a late live. I was just like in a daze from all the information that keeps coming in. You know what I'm saying? You can't keep up and you start to get like dizzy.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
From all the information, it's like he said and she said, and I saw him over here and he was on 15th Street this day. And okay, I'm gonna throw something out at you. The 26th of August is where I'm getting confused. They've got now a couple of people who were at the bar in Montana on the 26th. On that night, they saw him in the bar. They talked to him. Several people, some doctors and some friends. Okay. But on the 26th, earlier that day, he was seen by another woman at the park in Wyoming. You follow me?
Yes.
Well, see, we have a lot of those accounts, and I was sitting in Discord one day. He can't be in two places at the same time.
Okay, so let's go here. Let's chop this up. On
Okay.
the 26th, you have him in Wyoming during the day in the park. And then later that night, 2 hours and 20 minutes away, he's in Montana at a bar. Then on the 27th is when they have the last sighting of her at a restaurant. So I want to know, is this the same restaurant that doesn't have cameras? The one where they said they had the altercation. Is this the same situation we're talking about? Or do you know?
I think it is, but I'm not sure. It's very confusing with the timeline, I'm telling you.
Okay, and that's where it's befuddled, because it's like, if you are talking about the same incident on the 27th where they had the altercation with the staff or whatever, where the hell was he? Where was she on the 26th for him to be seen 2 times without her?
Yeah, exactly. It's very confusing. And I don't know that we'll ever really know the truth because nobody's talking.
That's the point. And that's the point, because one is no longer living and the other one is on the run. So you're sitting here trying to decipher every little thing that somebody else is saying without a receipt.
Yep. Exactly.
And it's sad. It's very sad. It's very sad.
I don't know, the TikToker that put the thing up about how he was hitchhiking and they took him to Jackson.
Okay.
I'm still trying to figure that out because, again, he can't be in 2 places at one time.
I think perhaps that it's either the dates are off or this is when the plan was being put into motion to get rid of her, to cover up getting rid of her. And he was going place to place to place, because you have to ask yourself one thing. Perhaps he was with these said people hitchhiking because he did board a plane to get on a plane to go to Florida, allegedly to get rid of that stuff out that house, to put it in storage and then double back. You understand what I'm saying? There's something to all this jumping around.
Right.
Yeah, there was something strange going on with that.
Yes, because if we have proof that indeed the mother, father, whomever have gone down and retrieved her things out of a storage unit, then that means somebody did leave out west, or somebody in Florida got rid of her stuff and put it in storage.
Yep. And why?
And for what? And for what reason?
Exactly. I mean, it was like they were trying to make her vanish before she vanished.
But see, that's the thing. If we're going to believe that, this shows how stupid this fella is, because you came back with her van. You see, if you're going to make it look like she ran off, she left you, you had a fight, you should have left the van, boarded a flight, Greyhound, whatever, came back and put the ball in motion that she abandoned you. We had a fight. She took off. I don't know where she is. Left her things alone.
Exactly. That's what he told Mama and Daddy.
Left her things alone and sat and waited and let the chips fall, let the people come in questioning, and then say, I don't know what's going on. We had a fight. She took off, so I just came on home. See, here are all her things. I still have all her things. This is where he messed up.
Yeah, but it's that narcissistic control. And to him, that van was control.
Yes.
Oh, that van was.
But the van, but bringing it back, it's what messed him up.
Yeah, that was a dumb move.
Should have left the van there.
Yep.
All right, 1 second. Clint wants to come up. We're going to say hi to him real quick. Well, he left.
That's right.
That's fine. No, I think, exactly. Especially when the fight in Moab happened and he went to the hotel, but she stayed in the van because she was afraid to get left.
Okay, so that's where I have another problem. I want you to think about what you just said. I am a female. She's a female. You're in the middle of nowhere and you're going to sleep in a van in the middle of nowhere by yourself. Ask yourself, does that make any sense?
No, I think she was scared of being left. Hey, Clint, welcome.
Hello, how you doing today?
Good.
What's cracking, Clint?
Okay, well, let me ask you something. Do you all even believe that she stepped in the van? Where's the receipt to that?
Yeah.
I'm just going off of what the police officer said, that he went to the hotel and she stayed there.
Like me, I am.
Okay, you mean from the video, from that video footage?
Hang on one second.
Yeah.
I am trying to figure out more information. Right now, I am like research myself.
I think we have a really bad connection because like every other word is broke up.
Clint,
Jimmy, now?
Hey, bro, do you have a speech impediment of some kind?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, what were you saying? We want to hear what you got to say.
Okay. Right now, I am trying to get more details, more stuff, more information. Right now, I am working on stuff. Find this dumb suspect. This fine suspect.
Right.
I mean,
What is your thoughts on him, on Brian?
My thought. Me honestly, if I saw him real life, if I saw him walk into him, you know what? I had to take him out. I don't want to do it, but you know, it's a it's hard to like, I don't know, like,
to find the right words.
Yeah.
Okay, you're doing okay.
Yeah, you're doing great.
I mean, like where him at? Like, where him at? Like,
right. Yep. Where do you think he is?
Well, yeah.
Somewhere with Wi-Fi.
People think him at in DeSoto. But I don't know if he's not out there because his parents, you know, the parents needs to like talk, or else they have a banner on their head too, because you know what? I mean, they have something is coming to them, and I am sad. Gabby is, I don't know Gabby, like, will I? But you know, this is for Gabby, for justice.
Yep.
People need to say his whole name. People need to say whole name. You know.
Okay.
I mean, and why the heck? Why this heck? The Gabby's. I don't want to try to be rude or nothing, but the first place, Gabby's mom and dad should need to check his background, like check and see, oh, this dude is okay to date. You know what I mean? I mean, in the first place, why she just leave him in the first place?
I think because she was controlled by him. I think she was terrified of being left, and I think she believed things would get better. What do you think, Everyday Shenanigans?
Well, I think she's like most people. We just hang in there with people that we know are not right for us, evenly yoked. We are not evenly yoked. And you try to make it work. I think we already know that it was never working before the van trip. That's obvious. and
Right.
whatever reasons that she agreed to stay in the relationship, she stayed.
Oh,
But I think
wait.
I think going cross country with somebody that's a firecracker is a very dangerous move. I mean, you have to use common sense. This probably was going to happen if it was even in Florida or New York or wherever they lived. That's the sad part of the story.
I agree with that.
It's going to happen anyway. It just so happened that things jumped off out there in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Things
think
jumped off.
to the gentleman's point that about the parents not checking, this guy out. Well, she went to high school with him, and they were kind of off and on.
Yeah. So that's
Fight,
why there
break
weren't any
up.
worries.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I can remember my dad used to, if I went out on a date with a guy, he wanted to see his driver's license and all this stuff, and he'd write it down, and he'd
those days are gone.
those days are long gone.
Yeah, that's long gone. Yes. Yes. They had history. And I think that's the reason why we tolerate people is because of history. Well, I've known them a long time. That's my friend. I mean, you hear people say that when they covet for people and they enable people who they know are off, because you do it with your friends, people you've known. You really don't have anything in common with them. It's 15, 20 years later. You don't have anything in common with them. But what do? You hold on to them anyway, knowing that they're foolish, they're immature, whatever their negatives are, because you've known them.
Right.
Oh, I have another question. Y'all might be shocked what I find out. Gabby have a book. I don't know, like someone on YouTube. Gabby has a serial killer book. Read a book of serial killers books, and
Brian, I don't mean to interrupt you, but did you say serial killer books?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I ask you something? I'm not being rude, but what's the cause of your speech impediment?
Well, my mom, we almost died a C-section.
Okay. Yep.
Yep.
Oh, so your mom had problems when she had you as a child, and you almost died?
Yeah, she died too. She almost died too. Like C-section. Okay, C-section. Yeah.
Yep. So, what happened?
Me, I don't have too much oxygen when I'm a little baby.
Oxygen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like now I am okay. Like now I'm fine.
Yeah. Well, we're glad you're here.
Thank you so much.
Glad you made it.
I met him the other night.
But you were talking about those books she had. Those were Brian's books that he was reading. So it wasn't really like Gabby. It was him,
Yeah. And also how you know he is like mental. I mean, why? I mean, he don't take his medicine,
Wait. Say what? His medicine? How you know he takes medicine?
I don't think he was prescribed any medication.
Right.
I don't think either of them were. And I think what he
I
said.
didn't like that when people start saying that they're both mentally ill. You can't say that if you don't have any documentation.
No.
That the two were mentally
No,
ill.
I think Brian made all that up.
Well, where'd you hear that at, honey? Where'd you hear that?
Ryan, where did you hear that he was on medication?
No.
What?
I just
just thinking that he was.
Yeah.
Okay. I think a lot of people are doing that in your past. People pass that and people believe that, especially people who aren't following a story and they pick up things like that in the chat. They'll, you know what I'm saying? They'll assume that's true.
Right. And then they pick up pieces from from the traffic stop, you know, where he says she's just crazy, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
she
yeah, yeah,
says she has OCD and
yeah,
all of this, but
yeah,
she wasn't taking any medicine.
yeah. That just
So,
means
right.
she likes things a certain way because I'm the same way. You're just meticulous about how you like things. A lot of people are like that. Doesn't
Yeah.
mean that they're medicated, doesn't mean that they're crazy or diagnosed with anything. We don't even know she's diagnosed with OCD. Like they say, OCD is just like a random term people use to describe, how they do things.
Right.
Well, and a lot of it too is, I mean, when he was speaking to the police, I mean, in the cop videos,
Okay.
they were even asking about medication, and
Right.
he
Of
said,
course. But he never mentioned it.
we don't take anything.
Right.
Okay. Right. Because they're going to ask that. They're going to ask you all those questions just to make sure, if they think somebody's behavior is off, that's normal to ask you, have you taken anything today? Or that's where they can get, access to situation. But I want to tell you something. I brought content about that this morning. That's a new article that's been released about that said video. Moab is doing an independent investigation on that situation because somebody has brought forth a complaint. They did not identify who the complainant is. But now information is coming out that they did have knowledge that she was slapped before they pulled up on the van.
Right.
Yep. Yep. So they just mishandled the whole thing.
So they didn't mention it, perhaps. Perhaps they didn't mention it in that audio. Well, we heard that you slapped her. That's the reason why we are here. And usually they will tell you that when they pull you over for whatever reason, they will tell you why they pulled you over.
Yep.
So I need to rewatch that because I only played like 20 minutes of it, the audio, and I didn't watch the whole 1 hour of it because I thought 1 hour seems a bit extensive just to get to the bottom of really nothing. Two people had a little altercation. I've just run over for an hour of filming.
Yeah, it's very long to listen to.
Okay. So that's what I'm saying, but why that long? That's a long time. Think about it.
I have a very hard time believing that either of them were diagnosed with anything. Clint's trying to come back up, but we got two people back here and none of their devices are connected. So connect your devices.
Yeah. So what do you think about them not mentioning the reason why we pulled you over is because someone witnessed you hit her. That would have really put a whole different spin on that video and to see his reaction when confronted. See where I'm going?
Right.
Imagine being confronted with that. This whole video will probably look totally different than what we've seen.
Yeah. And that was the thing, the way the stop happened. Brian was trying to make it about the fact that he ran off the road.
Yeah. And they were, and he said some pieces about that too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you see, the thing of it is, of course he's going to do that because, in my opinion, he's a narcissist and he wants control over the whole situations all the time.
Well, he was very mild-mannered. Was he not mild-mannered? We got to give him that. He was mild. He held that conversation.
He was also smiling. He was also smiling. He seemed to be quite impressed with his performance, in my opinion.
Well, he's been performing. That's the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been acting.
Yeah. Whenever he slapped her, that's when you saw the real him.
The real him, yes. Yes, that was the real him. Okay, and the running up and down the sidewalk, they were describing that lady. She was describing that in her video, in that TikTok video, whatever. Very animated. I was trying to figure that out. What were they doing running up and down the sidewalk?
Well, there was something about he was trying to go off and leave her or something, and she I don't know. It's very confusing.
Because what I wondered is, was this like a chase scene? Like one's chasing the other one. Come here, I'm trying to talk to you. Blah blah blah. That's very interesting.
Yeah. Too bad they didn't have that on camera.
Exactly. See, that. Have you ever noticed that though? The things that's the most dramatic is never filmed.
Yep.
Never filmed. And I have a problem too with everybody running to social media. Like they said, why didn't you go to the police first with your information about him slapping her? You're running to TikTok and telling all this stuff. Why don't you tell the police all this stuff first, then go to TikTok or YouTube or whatever?
I'll bet you something. I'll bet Gabby's family's lawyers got a video of that whole
Okay,
incident.
the webcam, the
Yeah.
body cam.
You can bet on that.
Every bit of it.
Every
Yeah.
bit of it. Well,
And
they will have disciplinary actions, is what was said in that article that I read.
Yeah, the chief of police is on administrative leave, but then someone said it was FMLA.
Yeah, it was in that article I read last night about it, and it said he had chosen to take a family leave.
Oh, he did. I see.
Bless his heart.
Just happened. Yeah.
Yeah. Just
You know what? I don't understand that about people. When something jumps off in a city or town, why would you leave, step down? Why don't it shows that like you're taking guilt, even though you weren't there at the time when this altercation happened. It was your officers who were there on the scene. You know, whatever the case may be. I just don't see the purpose of stepping down, leaving. I would just wait it out and wait for all the evidence to come out. Because in the end, you weren't there.
Yep, just like Hawkins County.
Oh, Lord.
In my opinion.
I beat you.
Well, you know,
we were doing so good.
that chief of police there, he's, you know, the buck stops with him.
Yep.
His guys are a reflection on his leadership. And
That's
so what
true.
is the first thing he does? He abandons ship.
Yeah.
Chicken shit.
Yeah. And hard as it is to find work, I don't know about just leaving. That's just
well, when you take
I wouldn't have done that.
When you take that medical leave, you can come back, but it also said something about it was doubtful if he would return. So maybe they said, okay, you've got this option. You can go off on this family leave for so many weeks with pay, and then you better find yourself another place.
Well,
I think it's because she was found deceased, and it's such a big story. He already felt the bang coming.
Yep.
Because I'm glad we talked about this, because in my opinion, I'll see if I'm right, it's going to happen maybe. If this summer case goes huge with John Walsh, I look for Ronnie Lawson to retire.
Really?
Mm-hmm. That's my opinion. I'm making a prediction.
Okay. Interesting.
Anyway, back to Gabby.
Very interesting. But they're all similar. And when you look at the demographics of the he said, the she said, and people start talking. I don't know what it is about true crime. People just come out, and I mean, they get to flapping their wings. I mean, if you start chopping up every story that you've heard about somebody missing, just backtrack to all the people that started coming out with a version of something.
And it's usually something in their own mind. And I love well, I read it somewhere, I heard it somewhere. No, you made that up 9 times out of 10.
And I always ask people that. Some people may think I come off as being rude, but no, what I want to know is, where did you get it? Because you're repeating it. Right. So I want to know, where did you get it?
That was just like a little while ago. I was in chat, and someone said that CPS is the biggest child trafficking organization in the world. I just want to know where that info is.
Your own personal experience.
Oh, okay. Well,
I think a lot of people speak from personal experience, because that was always mentioned. When they were talking about the little boys out west, and I always feel like every situation. I say this. I said this in my chat the other day. Every time something goes missing, that's the first word that comes up. It's trafficking, child trafficking, human trafficking. Blaming of the CPS, when let's just be truthful. I tell people, a lot of these cases are rooted in the people who are involved with the people. It's not somebody cloak and daggers, the Illuminati. It was the parents or the godparents or the people who were taking care of them, the person that was dating them.
Right.
Not some phantom. It's no phantom. Rarely is it a phantom.
Yeah, there's no phantom abductor. No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
That's it. You do have your small cases of kidnappings, of a person, be it a child or an adult. But a lot of people are missing from people that knew them, people that watched them, people that crossed their path at some form or another.
Right. Just like in the case of the boys, the West boys.
Yes.
I think the adopted parents are the ones, And
Yes.
Queen, did you see John Q's interview with that lady who was talking about rehoming of children?
Yes, I heard that. Yes, I watched that. Yes.
I mean, that really opened my eyes when I heard that. I said, I bet you.
Well, see,
At
you never
first,
know because we didn't know these people.
right.
So what do you think? You think they were rehomed?
I think they might have been.
So when you say rehome, are you saying like they gave them away to somebody else to take, or they sold them to somebody else, like an illegal adoption, another adoption situation?
Well, they could have sold them,
Okay.
and they're still collecting money on these kids as long as they're missing.
Yep, exactly.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something about that. Let's go there because I don't think the state's giving them a damn dime.
I hope not.
Let me tell you why I know they're not giving them no money. Think about this. They took their other kids, so why would I give you a stipend for those kids? I took all your kids, the 4 you had left. They immediately removed them. So I know the state of California is not giving them no monies for no children because the four that was remaining, they're removed. So you don't get any money for those. That
Yeah,
goes to
that's
whoever taking care of them.
yeah, that's right. They sure did do that.
Yeah, so they're not going to give you money for the missing ones. That's the whole reason why the 4 were removed, because they saw something the day they went to your house. That's why I tell people to pay attention to the details. The law saw something in your household to remove the 4. What was it? Because Brian made a point of saying that to the chief. And this is a very valid point. He says children go missing all the time. Rarely do the people's other children get taken by the state.
Right.
So what did they see in that house? Or what didn't they see to say, oh, hell no, these kids, something's up. See, that's why I tell people something was up when they went to the house, because you don't know how they were living in the house. You don't know if they had adequate beds, if they had clothing to show that, hey, you don't even have this, this, and this to prove that you ever had the 2 that's missing. That's why I would tell people to stay woke.
Yeah. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That is true.
I don't mean to change the subject on everybody, but I was just thinking, can you imagine, what Gabby's parents are going through, just sitting and waiting for his ass to be captured?
Yeah, that's a terrible place to be.
Man, I would not want to be there.
Well, they were already sick anyway when a child was missing,
Yeah.
And they know that she's deceased.
Now,
and also
yeah.
think about this. I mean, he's enabled. We know he's dangerous.
Yes, we know that.
How do we know that he's not hiding in plain sight somewhere in New York?
Well, he could be anywhere. And guess what? New York is a perfect place to get lost.
That's what I've been saying. I've been saying
it's an island.
For
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
been saying
Hey, before I forget, what did Elvis Presley? Okay, he was pretty popular in my opinion. But
Elvis, yeah.
What did he say? If I want to get lost, I'll just go to New York City and
That's
nobody
right.
will even notice me.
Honey, the people.
Yeah.
The last time I was there, that I'm telling you, on a cold morning, on a Saturday morning, those people were out at 11 a.m. like they were giving away free cheese. I'd never seen anything like it. I was like, where are these people coming from?
Right.
So you can blend right on in. Put a baseball cap on, a beard, dye your hair. Nobody knows you, because in the city, people know to stay in their business and stay in their lane.
Yep. They don't even notice each other.
They don't even notice each other. Yes.
No, it's very busy. It's extremely busy. And he could, like I said, he can hide in plain
Then
sight.
right in. Just walk right by you.
And look at all the money they have spent digging around in that swamp.
Yeah.
In my opinion, New York. What I mean, people say, well, you went to Mexico. New York would be better than going to Mexico.
Oh, New York would be perfect to go to.
Yeah,
you never
it
go
would
to a
be.
small town, because small towns people are nosy and they start watching every little thing you do, and they start asking questions, because that's what small towns do. They always want to know, where you from, how long you been here, what you doing here, who you visiting. You never go to a small town.
Yeah, you'd be like, if you went to Mexico, you'd be like a white boy in the Hispanic community. They're gonna be like, yo, what's up?
Yeah.
What are you doing in my hood?
But let's be truthful. He could live pretty good down there because the dollar's higher. Get
Exactly.
a place to stay. Get a nice little place off the grid with the money, because money talks. Especially if you're carrying American money, he could get somewhere and duck off real quick. down in there.
Yeah, but I mean, all these stories about him being in other countries and everything.
Yeah, I know what
He
you're saying.
got on
Yeah.
a plane and
He
got on a
can't make it in
plane.
another country.
Got on a
He's not
plane
gonna
and
make
went
it.
to Venezuela and stuff like that. I'm like, come on. The FBI knows how to check that stuff.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah. Plus,
Yeah.
you got to have a passport.
Yes, you
They're
sure
gonna
do.
have, yeah, they're gonna know that you went through customs.
Yes,
You're
all
busted.
that.
There
All
you
that.
go.
All that's going to be a check. That his name's going to come up on the radar if he used his own name. And
Right.
so then that means you're saying he used a fake passport. So then that means he had to have knowledge of somebody
Yep.
who could have made him a fake passport. So see, it's deeper than just saying somebody went and jumped on an airplane to another country. You already have to have a passport if you use your own name. But then your name's going to be flagged because you're wanted.
Yep.
But my question is, oh, go ahead. What, big guy? Sorry.
Well, I was going to say down there in that DeSoto Park at that Space 15 where they were the last time, and so said there are 2 left, but 3 had come in. When the parents left, how do we know that somebody hadn't picked him up on a boat, which is right there by the Gulf, and
Okay, well, that's
trucked
what
his
people
little
said.
behind up somewhere
Yeah.
or around to
Well, that's
the
what somebody said. They had boats.
yeah, and where he could catch a plane or something to go
Anywhere.
up to New York. But I
Right.
had really thought he went up to New York because that's his history up there.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting.
I want to know what happened between September 1st and September 11th. We know
A
Gabby,
whole lot of
Gabby was
a whole
killed.
lot of movements. A
Yeah.
whole lot of movement was going on.
Boy, I tell you, they were shuffling fast.
Yeah.
As black folks would say, a lot of furniture rearranging.
Yeah.
Or they be saying, where's Pookie? And Ray Ray.
Yeah, Pookie too.
Yeah, Pookie too.
Somebody called Pookie and got him. Come on, Pookie, come over here. We need you to run over here. Pick him up over here. Then somebody called Ray Ray. And Ray, meet him over here 3 hours up the road. And you know what's the sick part about this? We're joking, but people do this every day. They call people to aid the crime further.
Exactly.
So let's think about that. How many other people know where he is?
That's what I'm thinking.
Who's gonna snitch first?
Yeah,
Not everybody's gonna be as tight-lipped as parents.
Yes.
For some money,
exactly.
I think people talk.
Yeah, for the almighty dollar. Amen. Yes.
Oh, absolutely. And now you've got,
30,000 right now on his head.
Yeah, but you've also got every man that somewhat resembles Brian.
Oh,
People
yes.
taking his picture floating around the internet.
Yes, because you got to remember one thing. I don't know how much hair he has since coming back. He could have dyed that hair blonde, orange.
He could be wearing a wig.
All that.
There's a lot of stuff he could be doing.
Beard. He could have a beard. He could be clean shaven. See, he wore fuzz. So the best thing to do was to dye your hair and cut all the facial hair off.
Yep.
Yeah, in fact, I just said that to Brooks today. I said, he probably shaved.
Yeah, he's gone very clean.
I would think so.
Probably gone very clean. Or a beard, perhaps a whole full beard.
Mm-hmm.
But like we were talking about the other day, we were saying, with people wearing the masks and stuff like that,
Yes,
how are you going to know?
Yes, right. And that's the perfect disguise at this moment for anybody wanting to blend in after committing a crime or going on the run is wearing a mask. Now, God forbid you start wearing a mask that's got all these funky colors and this and that. People are really not going to be paying attention.
Yep.
You put a baseball cap on, a cowboy hat, and a mask, you're anybody.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can walk into a damn bank with sunglasses, a hat, and a mask right now.
Yes, you could. And nobody's going to say anything to you. Period. Nobody is going to question you with a mask on right now.
You know why? Because they're still looking in the woods and in the swamp. Whatever.
Yeah,
that man ain't there. That
too.
man ain't in that damn woods.
Well, do you think maybe somebody really thinks he's there? Because they're gathering everything for the DNA. Could it be possibly that he is dead? Could it be that? I still think he's alive, but
No, I don't think he's dead. I don't think he's dead, and I know he's not wearing no damn mask out in the woods.
Maybe a Bigfoot mask. Somebody,
I
no,
can't see him down there either.
that's just Sasquatch. That ain't Brian. Yeah.
New York, interesting.
Yeah, New York would be the place to go.
And you know
All
what's
right,
funny?
guys. Do it.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, you go ahead and finish.
I was just going to say what's funny about the mask thing is a year ago somebody walked in a bank with a mask on. Everybody hit the panic button underneath the counter.
Oh, of course, exactly.
Imagine.
Exactly.
Imagine, yeah.
You couldn't.
And
That's
now
right.
you can go in
Very
anywhere.
efficient.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, that's true. So true. So true. Wow. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Well, I think we're shut this down.
Okay,
I
that's
wanna
fine.
say-
Thank you so much
No,
for the
no.
invite. You all stay blessed. Have a blessed week.
Hey, anytime, everyday shenanigans.
Well, let me ask you
always
this.
a big treat when you come up.
Okay, let me
Nice
ask you all
talking.
this. What do you all think about dog being involved? I heard some people make a little comments that, they think it's for show. So I wanted you all's opinion on that.
I think anyone that gets involved that can find him is great. And
Okay.
Dog has a really good history. And
Okay.
if his wife was alive, it'd already be done.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Beth would have done nailed
So
him.
so this camp stuff that's going on, that he found some camping place, is that legitimate where allegedly he and the parents
Yes.
camped out?
Yes, they really were there. They at Space 1 and then Space 15. They went there.
Golly.
Well, let's put it
This
this
just
way.
gets crazier. This just gets crazier by the minute.
Let's put it this way. If Dog finds him, that's very good for Dog and for Gabby's parents.
Yes.
But you were asking about, if Dog finds him, well, hell yeah, it's a feather in Dog's cap, and it's probably some, money, and who knows, but I'm sure Dog would love to find this guy. That's for sure.
Well, I hope it's a resolution that ends soon.
So do
Because
I.
like I tell people, with adequate help, no matter who you are, you can stay underground with resources. That's just common sense.
And that is true.
Yep.
That is true. Food, water, a little bit of money. Brian can hide for a long, long time.
And a little bit of Wi-Fi. So do you also believe that he's been on social media as himself? Because somebody was in my chat last week, it's Brian Laundrie, and he sent me a nice little message if it was him. He says, I'm safe and sound.
Didn't Chris McDonough prove that he was using the internet?
And he put the little arm muscle emoji up. I thought, what the hell am I looking at?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think Chris McDonough, I believe, I could be wrong, but I think
I saw that in the queue. Kevin, last night. Somebody saying something about tracking him down through social media.
Yep.
Yeah, he did. He confirmed that Twitter account that's being used is his.
And if he is using the internet, he's a fool.
Well, because they can track the IP address. I don't know much about all that stuff, how that goes, but that's why I've been joking lately. I know he's got Wi-Fi if indeed that's him talking and these people chat.
Yeah, and that's how that Twitter account was tracked down. And it was tracked
I
down
got you.
to New York, to Bayport, New York.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. Address and everything. It's in our
there you
Discord.
go. There you go.
Well, have they found out who lives there?
Yeah. The Laundries.
No, I'm serious.
That was one of their addresses. I'm a researcher.
Are you serious? Oh, you're not joking.
I am not joking.
Okay.
I'm a researcher, and I had already researched all their previous addresses, and when that came up, I like to fell out of my chair.
Listen, I told people last night, if you never drank in your life, you will drink listening to this.
Yeah.
This story.
Yep. It makes you want to break out the tequila.
I said it this morning. I said, you're either going to be on whiskey or a whole lot of coffee. Take your pick.
Yep. Pick your poison with this case.
Yes, pick your poison.
It
Thank you
gets
so much.
frustrating.
It
Hey,
is very frustrating.
everyday shenanigans. Come
Yes.
back anytime. We love
Okay,
having
thank
you
you.
on.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You all have a blessed week. We'll meet up again.
It was so nice talking to you, huh?
Nice meeting
Thank
you.
you.
Ma'am. Okay, bye. Thank you. Bye. Thank you. Bye.
What big eyes? Thank you. Kevin, thank you.
Okie dokie. See y'all
And I'm
there
going
on
to
the
start
block.
winding this down. Hey, guys, chat. Best chat ever.
Yeah,
Keep it
I
lighthearted,
agree.
keep it fun. It's fine to joke around and, because these are dark subjects.
Yes.
Yeah, they are. But yeah, thanks everybody in chat. I always, if it wasn't for you guys, it wouldn't be half as fun. And
it wouldn't be happening.
And
So
we'd be talking to ourselves.
Yep.
Exactly. We can do that on the phone. We don't need to tie up the computer.
Yep.
Exactly. Yep.
Mods, thank you. Thank you so much. We have a great team. We have a great chat, great community. And we will see you guys tomorrow.
Bye everybody. See y'all later.
Bye-bye.